Hey, how's it going? It's Ollie here. So in this video, we're going to talk about scripting. Now, I believe that learning and getting better at this process has actually attributed to me making millions. In fact, online I've sold over 2 million worth of physical products, over 1 million worth of digital products. And I think this stuff I'm going to walk through today is part of the reason why I've had that success. And if you look at any successful person, their ability to prioritize and decide which tasks they get done throughout the week defines whether they're successful or not. Like you see these CEOs in really high paid positions earning tens of millions. The reason why they're so successful is because they're brilliant at prioritizing. So how do you do this? How do you script your week? Well, it all starts by looking at the big picture, right? Because at the end of the day, if we're going to be putting all of our energy into taking loads of action, moving forward and getting results, on a micro level from day to day, from hour to hour, from minute to minute, then if we're doing all this work, we want to make sure we're moving in the right direction, because you don't want to do all of this stuff and then end up, 3 years down the line, have achieved goals that you didn't even really want to achieve, right? Have you ever sort of stopped, looked back over the past few months or maybe even the past few years and think like, what was I really doing throughout that time? Like, I've certainly had that experience before. So we start off with the big picture, then funnel down to what we should be doing this week, then script out the week to decide what to prioritize. Right, so first of all, what you want to focus on is what I call your big life plan. What is it that you really want to achieve during your life? Like, in which direction do you want to move towards generally? Now, for me personally, I know that I want to have a very positive influence on the marketing industry as a whole. I really want to help new people get into marketing. I want to help businesses market themselves better. And I just want to have an influence in that industry. So now everything I do is geared towards that big goal that I have for my life, all right? Even teaching people how to sell on Amazon, a lot of that is marketing. So you have to decide what it is you want. Now, a great way of doing this is thinking like 20 years ahead. What would you want to achieve over the next 20 years? Now, you might have never thought about this before, right? Because quite often we're thinking like, what do we want to do over the next week or the next month? But I think you'll find when you start with like a big life plan, it really puts everything into perspective. And if you're having a challenge like now, then all of a sudden you realize, well, compare that to my big life plan, it's not really a big deal. Like, it's okay if we have a week that doesn't go too well because we've got goals over the next 20 years. Once you've done that and you've come up with like a general idea of where you want to go, it might take you some time, then have a think about how that will be broken down into what you want to achieve over the next 12 months. So come up with a 12-month goal. Now, this is quite often what we're thinking about. We're thinking about what we want to achieve this year or next year. This is why we set New Year's resolutions. Right, so you'll probably be very familiar with setting a 12-month goal. Say, I want to earn X amount this year, or whatever it is. Right, but now it will tie in directly with whatever it is you want to do with your life. And therefore, 5 years down the line, if you keep setting goals, it should get you closer to what you really want, right? Once you've done that, we can go even deeper into that 12-month goal and break it down a little bit more, right? So what I tend to do is have a look at a 90-day goal. Or in other words, a quarterly goal. Right, so what do you want to achieve in the next 3 months? Like this season, like if it's summer when you're watching this video, then by the end of the summer, what do you want to achieve? Now, our brain happens to really be able to understand 90-day segments better than any other segment of time. Like a year feels like it's quite far away. So maybe we'll just put off most of the work until the latter 6 months of the year, right? A month is too near because 4 weeks goes by in a flash. 90 days is a great period of time to actually create goals and plans, and it's a good place to start. So this is kind of all the chunking I do to break down my life plan into 12-month goals and then quarterly goals. From this, then you can come up with a really clear plan for how you want to script out each week. So this week, right, if you want to get a load of stuff done, when you figure this out, we can go and break down this quarter here, figure out what you want to do to get you those results for this week out of the quarter. Okay, so now we've set the intention for what it is you want to do with your life, right? You've got a direction to move towards. So let's now break it down into what you have to do this week in order to get results and move a little bit closer towards that big goal. So what I use is a process called scripting. Now, I originally learned this technique from a guy called Dan Kennedy, who is one of the fathers of direct marketing, and you should definitely go check out his book, No BS, Time Management for Entrepreneurs. Very, very powerful stuff, and definitely a good, worthwhile read. Now, in this book, he talks about how he scripts out his week. In fact, he scripts out almost his entire year. Just like, you know, when you watch a film, and just so the whole crew understands exactly what needs to happen minute by minute, what the actors have to say, maybe some set changes, the overall mood for each scene and each shot, your week will have the same thing, right? Rather than just walking around wondering what you should be doing every night. You know, should I watch Netflix? Should I do a bit of work? Should I focus on this? You will know exactly what has to happen in order to move you towards your goals. So fortunately, you don't need any, complicated software or anything else to really put this stuff into practice. In fact, for me, my week scripts, I just do either on a piece of paper, or nowadays I actually do it on my iPad. So let me show you the script I have for this week, and you can see just how simple this stuff really is. So I'm not sure if you can actually see that, but this is my script for the coming week. Maybe if I put the brightness down, it'll be a bit clearer for you to see. But as you can see, it's not the most sophisticated thing in the world, right? I've just put a note for each day of the week and then written by it, generally what I'm going to be doing on that day. Now, because I've really prioritized and I've set the intention of my goals, every single thing in this script for this week is super important stuff. And I know that these are the main things I have to do to move closer towards my goals. In fact, as you can see, on Tuesday, which is today, right, I've actually scripted out time to plan and shoot this video, right? So that's in my script because I know this is important because I want to get this content out to you. Okay, so it doesn't have to be anything complicated. So let's have a look at a little bit more detail how you can really effectively script your week and how it ties in to your quarterly goals and towards your big intention for the direction you want to move in. So here's what I do first, right? Before I attempt to create any script, I think about the week, right? This week that I'm about to enter into, what are the big 3 tasks I have to accomplish in order for this to be a great week? Now remember, there's 12 weeks in a quarter, right? And you can break down your quarter into what you have to do each week in order to get towards your goal. Right? So right now I'm building a new funnel, right? A new auto webinar funnel. My aim is to be spending at least £1,000 a day on advertising for this funnel by the end of the quarter, right? That's one of my goals. So there's loads of stuff I know I have to do each week to get closer and closer and closer to hitting that goal. So this week, once you've done that, you can focus on the big 3. Now, any time when you're building a business or focusing on something, there's loads of little minute tasks that do have to be done. For example, one thing is I have to send some documents to my accountant, right, at some point this week, right? That's one of the tasks I need to do, right? But that's not going to be on my big 3 because although it needs to be done, it's not one of my main priorities that's really going to move my business forward, right? Sometimes, accounting stuff might be really important if there's a huge tax bill coming up or something. But this week, that's not what's important. So you have to be really clear on what to prioritize. So in a business, it's quite often, what stuff is going to get you more customers? What stuff is going to make you money, right? What stuff is going to make your life easier? Anything that falls out of those categories and isn't aligning with your big goals, you should either delegate it, give it to somebody else, or eliminate it and just not do it, right? It certainly shouldn't make it into your big three. Now, alongside your big three, there will be some stuff that you do have to do. You can't delegate and you can't eliminate. So that stuff will be kind of in the other category, right? And you don't have to put this into your week script because we're just focusing on the big things that are going to move you forward. So this is how I build the script. Once I've figured out my big three and I know exactly what I'm supposed to do to move towards my goals, this is how I build the script. Fortunately, this stuff is really simple. I've tried so many software programs to try and keep me organized, but I find, like, number one, I never log into them. Number two, they always take a lot of time to learn how to actually get them set up properly, and I find pen and paper is just the easiest way to get this stuff sorted. So here's what I do, right? So simple. I just put which day it is, right? Like this: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Then in one color, I write in the stuff that I know I have to do throughout the week. So this is like blocks of time that I'm not going to be able to work. So for example, Monday this week was my girlfriend's birthday, right? So I took the day off. Right? That's the great thing about having a business. You know, if you do want to arrange your week and take a day off, you can. So we did. So I knew I wasn't really going to get anything done on that day, right? Then on Tuesday, I know I've got a meeting with my team at 7 p.m. Okay, so again, can't really do much while that meeting's happening, right? Because we're focusing on that. And on Thursday, I know I'm doing some training with one of my programs, the authority method, right? We're doing a live training call. And I know that during that time, about 9 p.m. Swedish time, I'm not going to be able to get anything done either. So that's the first thing I do. I block out all the times when I know I'm not going to be available. Now on Friday, we're thinking of going on a little trip for the first part of the day as well. So I put that in there as well. That means that there's going to be no surprises, right? And this will be different for you. You might work 9 to 5. Therefore, in one color, you could put, work from 8 in the morning until 7 p.m. when you commuted and you got back home. And you might have like 3 hours in the evening where you can do work, right? And that's fine too. But you need to know like when you can't work, what time is off limits. Now, once you've done this and you figured out when you can't work, then you want to figure out where you're going to put your big three within the week. Okay, so for example, shooting this video right now is part of my day on Tuesday, right? So in my script, I have around about 3 p.m. to about 6 p.m. shoot a video. Now, the great thing is, once you've put something into your week script, like if I get this done, let's say I start at 3, and let's say I do it really quick and I'm really efficient and I finish at 5, I know for the rest of the day, I've done most of the stuff I need to do in order to get closer to my goals, right? Because one of my big three is completed. So now for the rest of the day, like between 5 and 7 when I have my team meeting, I can relax. Like before I did this stuff with scripting and I was just had a pile of tasks and a huge to-do list, right, of things to complete, I would feel stressed. And I'd wake up in the morning and think, oh, what stuff should I be doing right now in order to get results? So it might feel like, if you're a free spirit or whatever, and you like to just have, each day just as it comes, you can not have a plan, but what happens is then you have this sort of level of anxiety, that's telling you, am I doing the right work right now? Am I doing the right things? Have I done enough to move towards my goals? Right? Am I focusing right now? Is this good quality work? With scripting, it eliminates it. When I've done that video today, I know that I've done the main thing for today. So I can relax for the rest of the day, not really get too much other things done, and I know I've done the big thing. Right? This is where prioritizing becomes really, really powerful. For example, tomorrow, my plan is to create a promotion that's going to make me at least £10,000 in sales, right? And that's for the week. I'm going to plan it, spend some time focusing on it, schedule it, send it out. And again, that's one of my big three, right? Bringing in revenue, it's obviously massively important in order to grow the business. Another thing that could be on my big three is shoot an advert. Right, you've probably seen my adverts here on YouTube. I shoot on average about one a week. Very important if I want to get more customers into my business, grow and move forward. So you can fill up all the stuff on the script for your week, and it just makes things so much easier. You wake up in the morning, have a look at what it is you're supposed to be doing that day. Really simple. Get on, get it done. There might be a few other things you want to get done as well, and you can write them down on a piece of paper. But really the stuff that's going to move the needle is the stuff you should put into a plan. And this means that really, no matter what time you have available during your week, whether you have a full-time job and you're working in the evenings and the weekends, whatever it is, with the little time you have, you can move forward miles rather than move forward inches. Because you know the stuff you're doing is part of your big three, aligns with your goals for the quarter, and it aligns with your goals for the year. So if you're looking to really make a leap this quarter, as in the next 90 days, and you really want to move forward and build something that aligns with your life plan and your 90 days, then I would love to invite you to have a free consultation with my team. In fact, you can book in a call. It'll be like maybe half an hour, 45-minute talk, and we'll break down everything about your goals. We'll first of all have a look at where you want to go, right? So what kind of business do you want to build, right? How does this align with where you really want to move towards in life generally? We'll get really clear on that picture so we can build a plan, reverse engineer it, enable you to get clear on what to put into your week script. Then we'll have a look at where you are now, right? So how far have you got towards the goal already? What's going well? What's not going well? Get a clear picture of the resources you have, the time you have available. Then finally, we'll have a look at roadblocks. Right? What could prevent you from getting from where you are now to where you want to go? Right? That way we can build a really clear plan together that enables you to definitely hit your goals, right? Because if you can build contingency plans, so you definitely overcome roadblocks, it's much more likely you're actually going to hit your goals, and there's nothing that can stop you. So if you're interested in booking this call, and you want us to help you come up with a plan, together we'll build a plan for you to really have a productive 90 days, then there should be a link below this video and you can do that, and they're 100% free. Just fill out a little form, bit of information, and we'll get back to you with some times to book in the call. All right, I really hope you enjoyed this video on scripting. This stuff, I use this all the time, every week, every Monday I spend about an hour or two doing this stuff, working on my business, focusing on, strategically where to spend my time, and that means I don't waste time, and that means I can move forward quicker, even if I wake up and I don't feel good that day, or if life gets in the way, I know I can still fit in the big things I have to do to move forward. I hope this stuff is useful and I hope you use it, and I really hope you book in a call as well by clicking the link below, because we can really help get you way more results this quarter. All right, thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you soon.